We will now go on to the substantive part of the debate, where I will pose questions, and I will randomly just go across the table, and I'll pick one person to start off, one candidate to start off, and then I'll go to the other candidates. So the first question I have is, and I'll vary it because most of, or all of you have kind of focused on the hot topic for the community, which is the housing that's kind of coming up. So I'll give you a breather on that, and then I'll come back to that question. So the first question I have is regarding enforcement technology, automated enforcement technology. There are proposed lane reductions in the city, plans to enforce bus lanes or bus-only lanes, cycle lanes, and at the same time, automatic enforcement technologies. Expansion of photo radar, speed enforcement onto major arterial roads such as Steeles Avenue as well. The question we have for you is, do you support these technologies on major arteries as a revenue stream in the city? If so, what would be the reasons? And I would also like you to kind of expand on what challenges do you see if you're trying to institute those kind of revenue streams or technologies into it. I will start with Ms. Chang.
So when I go door to door, I hear all the time that people are tired of speeding cars. They're tired of feeling like the roads are unsafe, and they're also tired of extremely loud mufflers. So anything that can calm that traffic down is definitely helpful. But just like any change that we want to institute, we should have a community consultation and define what the parameters of that is. Because like many of you, I don't like getting tickets. And when these automated machines get circulated, as they have been, you go over a few kilometers an hour and you kick yourself as you realize that you've just passed a photo radar. So it can be very stressful. But on the other hand, obviously, safety and limiting speed and generating revenue is helpful too. So to me, it's asking the community, what are you comfortable with? Obviously, we want to increase safety, but perhaps at certain hours, there could be a different parameter so that we're not always scared, but also trying to drive slower. So I say yes, but with community engagement. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go to Mr. O'Brien Fair.
Thanks very much. I am a very strong proponent of automated enforcement of all kinds, whether ASC cameras, red light cameras. I would love to see the province allowing us to experiment with things like stop sign cameras. We've talked about noise as an issue with street racing in the area, or loud cars with modified mufflers. There are pilots happening in parts of the world right now experimenting with decibel readers that are able to issue tickets to cars that are excessive in terms of their noise. Fundamentally, we need to make sure that our streets are safe. If we want to take a bite out of traffic, I don't think we need to have much of a consultation or a conversation to understand that traffic is a big issue in this neighborhood. And having worked with parent councils, what is dissuading kids from walking to school in the morning? Well, it's the fear of cars zipping through neighborhoods. What is the fear of seniors walking down main streets or crossing busy streets? Again, it's cars zipping through neighborhoods. I think that is very clear. My concern is that the moment that this is perceived as a tax grab or a revenue stream, we're losing the fight, because that's where others will push back. This isn't something that should be designed as a tax grab or a revenue stream. This is something that is a critical safety tool to make our roads safer, to encourage people to get out on foot, ride their bicycle, and be safe. I have spoken to too many people in this community and across the city that have lost loved ones, they have lost limbs, because our roads aren't currently safe. This is also a critical step to relieving some of the burden on our police force, that if we can rely more on technology for speed enforcement, for example, that is uniformed officers that can better focus on other issues of crime and safety happening in our community. So ASC cameras, from my point of view, is something critical. I worked with our city councillor in the spring to actually bring a motion to council to expand places where ASC cameras could be deployed in the city. We are now able to place them in senior safety zones, not just in school zones, which will include places like Yonge Street, Doris, and Beecroft, where we do have more vulnerable members of our community walking the streets. We want to keep them safe.
I just saw small kids get out the place, and I'm with you, Marcus, where we need to do more for the safety of the kids on the road. As a father, I love to do that, and as a city councillor, I will always be there to protect the family on the street. I am, however, against anything that slows down the traffic, or anything that would create inner road traffic. If automated ticketing machine that we're talking about is going to create a traffic that's going to come into the inner roads and maybe have an effect on the safety of the kids, then 100% against it. I believe that it is a money grab. I don't see the reason why we would need it on a major road. I believe that the main arteries, Yonge Street, Bathurst, Shepherd, should be free of congestion, so that we don't have traffic on the inner road. We don't need inner road traffic. The noise problem, 100% I get it, that we can maybe do better. But why penalize a mother driving on Yonge Street to get her kid to extracurricular activities? It does not make sense. So I am 100% against using the technology on the main roads. However, having said that, on the inner road, we do have some spots that I seen when I was door knocking that we have an issue. Inner roads, in some spots, I am for placing an automated speeding machine, like the thing is called. Well, I don't know what it's called, anyways. But it will make people slow down so that the kids are safer. We should look at the safety of the kids. My vision of Willowdale is having a safe neighborhood, so that family can walk on the sidewalk without fear of being assaulted, harassed, or being hit by a car. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll start with